10. Windows Movie Maker 2000 present. In 2000, along with Windows Me see below, Microsoft introduced a new application called Windows Movie Maker. It was an epically bad and horribly unintuitive piece of video editing software. It was so underpowered that it has become iconic with bad editing. When I see horrible production values on YouTube, I often think to myself that was probably made with Windows Movie Maker. 9. Windows 2.0 1987, 2001. Trying hard to compete with Macintosh and failing miserably, Microsoft released a revolutionary new operating system called Windows 2.0 in 1987. It turned out to be highly unstable and remarkably unintuitive. How many of you have ever seen it, or better yet, used it? Enough said. It. Windows CE 1996 present. Microsoft had the right idea with this one. They wanted to create a version of Windows that wasn't a memory and resource hog. They did, but unfortunately Windows CE couldn't really do anything significant, so it never caught on. Still, Microsoft supports it to this day in a limited capacity. In fact, it is what powers the $99 laptop. 7. Windows NT 3.5 1994, 2001. In the early 90s, Microsoft decided to market themselves at businesses. To do this, they made a distinction between home and enterprise versions of Windows. They differentiated Windows for home users from Windows NT for businesses. Windows NT 3.1 was released alongside Windows 3.1, and it quickly led to Windows NT 3.5, which was supposed to be the WORLD's first enterprise-class desktop operating system. Instead, it was a massive failure. Nobody bought it. Regardless, it paved the way for Windows NT 4.0, which became quite popular. 6. Windows Mobile 2003 present. In 2003, Microsoft built on the idea of Windows CE and created an operating system specifically for cellular phones or other mobile devices. They called it Windows Mobile. Since the initial release, this OS has gone through a slew of revisions: 2003, 2003 Southeast, V5, V6, V6.1, V6.5, V6.5.1, V6.5.3, and V6.5.5, but has had only limited adoption. The OS never truly caught on, and even though it is still supported, Microsoft has announced that their new mobile platform, Windows Phone 7, will not be backwards compatible. Say goodbye to Windows Mobile. It was not really fun while it lasted. 5. Pocket PC 2000. Post-Windows CE, but pre-Windows Mobile, Microsoft released an OS called Pocket PC. There were two revisions, Pocket PC 2000 and Pocket PC 2002. These were svelte versions of Windows designed specifically for PDA-type devices. The failure of the PDA inevitably led to the failure of Pocket PC. This product is no longer supported, but I cannot find an official end-of-life date on Microsoft's website. Wow, IPS, so bad even Microsoft wants to forget about it. 4. Bob 1995. When you bring up Bob, most people say Microsoft had a product called Bob. Really, yes. And nobody remembers it because it was an awful application with an awkward interface. The OBS interface shows screens that resemble rooms in the house, and the programs are represented by objects. It sounds cool, but it was not intuitive at all. This is another product that doesn't even have an official end-of-life date. Bob, where are you now? Microsoft, what were you thinking? 3. Windows Me 2000, 2006. Until Windows Vista see below was released, Windows Me was arguably the worst operating system Microsoft had ever created. I was intended to be the replacement for Windows 98, but nobody upgraded. Instead, it prolonged the use of 98 until XP's release in 2002. For some unknown reason, Microsoft continued to support this boat anchor until 2006 when they officially sunk it. Nobody noticed. 2. Internet Explorer 62001 present. Internet Explorer, better known as IE, has never been ahead of the curve per Southeast, but at least the revisions previous to V6 were competitive with the other browsers on the market. IE6 was somewhat dated on the day it was released, being only a marginal upgrade from IE5, and has just gotten more and more outdated as time has passed. With slow and outdated HTTP rendering, a lack of tagged browsing, and no native RSS support, IE6 is probably the worst in its class. For some inexplicable reason, Microsoft still supports this browser almost a decade later, even though IE7 was released in 2006 and IE8 was released in 2009. CMON Microsoft IPS time for this thing to die. Kill it already. 1. Windows Vista 2006 present. Previous to its release, Windows Vista, originally codenamed Longhorn, was hyped as the operating system to reinvent Windows. Since its release, it has only reinvented help desk frustrations and prolonged the life of Windows XP. With an astoundingly bad adoption rate, a mountain of incompatibilities, and more end-user complaints than any OS I can remember, Vista may be Microsoft's biggest bomb ever. Yikes. Even Windows Me wasn't this bad. Windows XP support has ended. Why is this happening? Windows XP is 12 years old. It's pretty old for an operating system. In the past 12 years you've probably gotten a new phone, maybe a new TV, and possibly even a new car. Maybe IPS time for a new PC too, so you can make sure you have more memory and storage, faster processing speeds, and a higher quality display. Some even come with touch and PHEYRE, less expensive than you might think. We support our older operating systems much longer than most other businesses in this industry, but we keep supporting old operating systems and still move forward creating new and better products. WEVE been supporting Windows XP for the past 12 years, longer than we've supported any other operating system in our history, and already 2 years longer than the standard 10 years of support we normally provide. IPS time for us to look ahead so we can create better products and services for you and all our customers. What are my options? We encourage you to learn more here about what end of support means, but in the end you have two options. Option 1. Keep using Windows XP unprotected. While it's true that you can keep using your PC with Windows XP after support ends, we don't recommend it. For starters, IPLL become 5 times more vulnerable to security risks and viruses, which means you could get hacked and have your personal information stolen. Also, companies that make devices like digital cameras, internet-ready TVs, and printers provide drivers that work with Windows XP, so if you get new devices, they work with your current PC, and over time, the security and performance of your PC will just continue to degrade, so things will only get worse. Windows Internet Explorer 8 is also no longer supported, so if you use it or any other browser to surf the web, you might be exposing your PC to additional threats. Microsoft has also stopped providing Microsoft Security Essentials for download on Windows XP. To find out what this means, see will I still be protected if I use Microsoft Security Essentials? Later on this page. Option 2. Start using Windows 8.1. If you don't like the idea of your data and personal information being hacked, or your PC's just not working like it used to, consider moving to Windows 8.1. First, see if you can upgrade your current PC. PCs that are still running Windows XP have been around for many years, but there's still a slim chance some of them might meet the system requirements for Windows 8.1. To find out, try the upgraded IPS free and IPLL tell you if you can run Windows 8.1 on your current PC. If your PC is good to go, you can review and print the upgrade to Windows 8.1 from Windows Vista or Windows XP tutorial. IPLL walk you through all of the steps. If you see an upgrade, it might be time to consider a new PC. You will be amazed at what a computer can do today. The latest PCs are less expensive than you might think. A selection of PCs running Windows 8.1. These days, PCs for Windows are a lot less expensive and a lot more powerful than they used to be. In fact, new Windows 8.1 PCs are 37% less expensive than computers running Windows XP were in 2002. Find your perfect PC. IDC Worldwide Quarterly PC Tracker Report Q4 2013.